have to start with what Rajiv said. When you come to a fork in the road, take it. Said by whom?
Yogi Berra, he's a baseball player
Okay.
in the 50s or 60s.
What does that even mean, right? In one way, when you look at your life, it's all inevitable, right? It's just going down a certain path. You come down a certain path, you have several choices, you take one. You go down that path, some more choices open up, you go down that path. It's like a tree and its branches and its leaves. And it's like there's an invisible force that's guiding you through all these branches. It's like someone already decided for you which way you were going. And this, you have nothing to do with anything. But that is not true, you know. People that have done a lot of past life regression, they say that before you take a birth, you're given various scenarios. You see it like a movie. That do you want to work on this aspect of your character or do you want to work on that aspect? And you also see alternates that take place in that very same scenario. So there are people that have talked about how they decide to be born in a certain family and then they pick a choice and then something else happens. And they're like, oh my God, I didn't want to do that, so I took something else. So even before you were born, even when you're in between lives, you have a choice. But there is a point beyond which the supreme intelligence is at play. Right? There is something beyond mind. When we are guided in our decisions, what guides us? What guides your decision?
Logical thinking, intuition, instinct.
Alright, so then you're on one side, you have logical thinking. Right? What is the correct thing to do in this, given the circumstances, given your experience of what has happened before, what you have read, what you have personally experienced, and you say, okay, this is the best step to take. You have a lot of families right nowadays that are separated because they need a job so badly that the husband or wife travels 5 days a week while the rest of the family stays here. We've seen that a lot. And you wonder how they do it. It must be quite a decision. So what is it that guides that decision? We need to pay our bills. Jobs are very few to that, you know, they're not easy to come by. So let me do this. What else can guide your decision? It can be a decision of the heart, saying that it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right, I'm not going to. So in the short run, you might pick something else. So for example, I didn't take the job in Atlanta, but I decided to stay here. It doesn't mean nothing is going to work out. Yes, for some time you'll be in limbo, but a pathway opens up. And then you pick that path, you decide to start your own company, say. And coming with that, there are a bunch of corollaries, things that happen because you've taken that decision. And when you look back on everything, it's like something is guiding you. Something is guiding your decisions. What happens when decisions don't work is when you don't commit to it. So if you want to hear about taking a decision, but you're not sure that this is the right topic to ask, because I might have something different, you are not convinced that this is what you want to hear. You're open to something else. And that brief period of indecision causes a gap between what is and what you want. That gap is the anxiety gap, is the stress gap. Right now, whatever decision you take, just stay with it. Whatever you have decided, stay with it. This is the important part, is to commit to the decision 100%. And I've addressed this before. And I suppose this is something that keeps coming up because there are certain things in your nature that is very hard to fight against. I recognize this. For example, me as a person, I was taken care of by my father. He took all the major decisions in my life. Then I got married. My husband is a stronger character. He takes all the decisions. I don't take important decisions. But that doesn't mean I don't take any decisions at all, right? But I'm very happy not to have to take important decisions. It doesn't stress me out if I have to. It doesn't stress me out if I have to. Now there are those that feel that all the decision lies on them. And they feel like, oh my God, it's all up to me. Now this is a huge burden. This is a huge burden. But if you know that there is this supreme intelligence guiding it all. Now what is the supreme intelligence guiding it? I keep saying you are Godified. This is the same concept that I'm talking about. This something that flows through your veins that gives you the power, that tells you that this is the right thing to do. That is the supreme intelligence. It bypasses the mind. The best decisions bypass the mind. The mind is a conditioned tool. It tells you what you have fed it. So if you're by nature a person who doesn't trust their own decisions, what is the mind going to say? No, that's not a very good thing. The other decision is a better one. Maybe I should just forget about this. No, I should go back. I took 2 steps forward. Now let me just take 3 steps back because I shouldn't be standing so much in front. You can never be comfortable with what you're doing. And that's not a nice place to be in. Decisions that are taken intuitively often tend to be the best ones. Sometimes they may not seem logical. Like I remember the time Rajiv quit his job in Atlanta and he hired a U-Haul and he put his furniture into the U-Haul and he knew he was coming back to nothing. But the joy in his heart at leaving behind a job that he didn't like was just overcame everything else. It feels right. At that point, there's no worry that, oh my God, what's going to happen if something... Because you're so much in tune with this supreme intelligence that it feels completely right. And that's when you know that a decision you're taking, that you've taken, is a good one. You will always second guess or feel like it's not a thing when it's not something that you're comfortable with. If it's something you're comfortable with, you'll never second guess yourself. If you know that if you press Control Alt Delete, what does it do? It does something, right? It stops the computer, starts the computer. See, I don't even know that. Okay. It shuts the computer down. And you know it, you won't worry. But now when I'm doing Control Alt, I said, am I deleting everything that I saved on my computer this far? That's all kinds of other thoughts. Like I'm not at all comfortable with that action. See, things that you're very comfortable with, you won't doubt. Like for example, Radha, you may not doubt the amount of salt you're putting into the food. Right? You may be very comfortable doing that. But you will doubt, say, wearing necklace with a sari or something like that. I'm just giving an example, but there are certain areas in your life, all of us, that we're very comfortable taking those decisions because it's second nature to us. We know this very well. How much salt to put in the food, how to drive to Costco. Certain things we do. Certain others we second guess. Like I used to have a lot of anxiety if I landed at the airport and had to drive our rented car out. Initially when I came into this country, it was the biggest source of anxiety for me. Am I going right? Am I going left? Am I doing the right thing? Am I following the rules? Is the cop going to come behind me? So when I'm not comfortable with whatever you're doing, when you're getting out of your comfort zone, when you need to take a leap of faith, that is when you question your decision. A lot of times, when you're in a very bad place, you need to take that leap of faith to get into another very comfortable zone. You need to take a decision, which may not be a very comfortable decision, but it has to be done. It has to be done. You may have worked in one part of, say, IT for the longest time. And now the only jobs available are in sales. What are you going to do? Try and sit with an IT job and be frustrated that you can't find something in that little niche corner? Or are you going to take that leap of faith and take a decision to just change careers? It's not easy. It's never easy to do that. But you've got to go with what feels natural. We all second guess ourselves. We all second guess. And that is the recipe for disaster. So today I texted or emailed 20 people to ask if they would take the course. I know I'm doing the right thing. I know this is what I want to do. I know that there is something guiding me to make me do, that's making me do this, or making me want to do this. That very force that is guiding me will attract the right people to me. But see, as long as I stay in my heart, that I know. The minute I drop to the level of the mind, it's like, what is the point of this? Say, what am I doing? Nobody appreciates me. Who is talking? It's the ego talking. The decision is to run a course. What is the ego saying? No, it's not good. You decided to do a marathon. You're running the marathon. You know you can't do it. It is really difficult to do. If you stay at the level of the mind, it's going to be, I have a terrible cold. My legs are paining. My legs are too short. How will I walk 13 miles? So many thoughts. But there is a supreme intelligence guiding you that says you can do this. No matter what, you can do this. It is not something you've done before. It is something totally different. Every decision you take that takes you out of your comfort zone is very, very difficult. It is very, very difficult.
Some might call it foolishness.
Some might call it foolishness, but then what is life? Life is a big joke. I always ask everyone to think of life as a dream or a joke, not as a burden, where you're taking these hard decisions that affect everybody and everything. So many people have taken so many decisions, and so what? Who does it matter to? Who cares? What decisions Gandhi took, or what decisions some person in a village in Africa took, or what decisions you are taking, or what decisions anybody else is. It matters for some time to some people in a little way, and then it goes. So don't be so scared. Whatever job you're doing, whatever health condition you're facing, whatever problem has come up your way, has come up a million times in your life. And you can handle it. And you can do very well after it. It's come to you because you can take it. And doesn't matter whether the decision is hard, whether the decision is simple, whether it's life-threatening, whether it's dangerous, whether it's frivolous. What matters is, do you have a smile on your face? That's the only thing in this world that matters. Don't let life take that smile off your face. Just rest in that supreme intelligence that's guiding you, that's protecting you, that's holding you in its arms, that's showing you the way, that's converting everything that's negative in your life into something positive. If you rest in that supreme intelligence, everything opens up. Everything opens up in you. You take the right decisions. Things happen for you. As long as you stay in your mind and you second guess, I always say that someone asks me, how much faith does one need? I mean, how can you measure faith? How can you measure faith? You can't measure. You have faith or you don't have faith. You can't have half-hearted faith. 1 cup of faith. Have it or you don't. You must have that faith that whatever decision you're taking today, right now, has to be done. And go with it. Go with it. Just own it. So when you come to that fork in the road, take it. Just take it.